So today we're going to be talking about geocoding, and basically, whenever you go onto your smartphone or on Google or wherever, and you type in an address, the computer goes to a geolocator and spits out back a point to you, and that point is going to be a longitude latitude. This process is known as geocoding. So the geocoding is the process of spatially referenced features based on its address to which it relates to on the face of the earth. So basically, we spatially reference addresses to their locations on the earth. There's two typical ways of geocoding: the linear and the area. The linear way of geocoding assumes that addresses vary linearly along a street. And then the way that we do with the aerial geocoding is that we assign a location based off of an entire area. So for example, the GPS unit in your car will perform geocoding every time you enter a street address. The GPS unit takes the street address and associates it with road data sets that exist within the GPS unit to determine where the coordinate is for the address. So within the GPS unit, there is a geolocator. That geolocator could be using area geocoding, or it could be using a linear geocoding. Let's talk more about the linear geocoding. So to understand linear geocoding, we'll go through this example. So imagine this geodata's spatial set of a center line for Easy Street. We know that the beginning of Easy Street starts at the 100 block and ends at the 200 block. So we know that the addresses between the 100 and the 200 blocks are going to range between 100 and 200. We don't know exactly where each address is on Easy Street, so we estimate where it is. So if we know, for example, that all the even numbers are going to be on the north side of the street and all the odd numbers on the south side of the street, and that it starts at 100 and ends at 200, then we can think, if we want to find 180 Easy Street, that we just need to go 80% down this feature, and 180 will be located around that area. There's a few things that are being assumed here: that there's equal spacing on Easy Street, and that the addresses are going to be in sequential order. This isn't always the case in real life, and this is one of the limitations of linear geocoding. But what's nice about this linear geocoding is that you can often find geolocators for free, and that they're also going to be very lightweight, not with as much size. Now let's look at aerial geocoding. Aerial geocoding, here's an example of another street, and what we can see here is that we're having building footprints. Within each one of these building footprints exists a polygon, and each one of these polygons are going to have the street number that's associated with it. And so whenever we're looking up a address here, we're going to be looking up the address based off of almost like a search. So we're not worried about addresses being evenly spaced, or if even or odds are on different sides of streets and so forth, because it's actually searching for the polygon, and then it will geocode and give you a long lat for that. This is a much more data intensive process and takes much more computing processing power.